We get on to section 1, question number 1. Choose the most appropriate answer. Which of the following is a common characteristic of a covalent compound? A. High melting point. B. Conducts electricity in its molten state. C. Consists of molecules. D. Always soluble in water. If you observe, barring C, everything else are characteristics of ionic compounds, and therefore the correct option will be C. Now when you're writing your answer, choose the same numbering as you see in the question paper. So question number 1, A, 1. The correct answer would be C. 2. Ammonium hydroxide will produce a reddish-brown precipitate when added to a solution of A. Copper sulfate, B. Zinc nitrate, C. Ferrous sulfate, 3. Ferric chloride. If you look at the question, reddish-brown precipitate. Now reddish-brown precipitate is characteristic of Fe3+. The only ferric salt you have is D, that's ferric chloride, and therefore the correct answer would be D. The third example. A salt which in solution gives a bluish-white precipitate with sodium hydroxide and a white precipitate with barium chloride. Our options are A. Copper sulfate, B. Ferrous sulfate, C. Ferric sulfate, D. Copper chloride. If you read the question, a bluish-white precipitate is characteristic of the copper ion. The white precipitate with barium chloride is a characteristic of the sulfate radical. So therefore, the correct option would be A. So 3 would be A. The fourth one, the gas law, which relates to the volume of a gas and to the moles of gases. A. Avogadro's law, B. Gay-Lussac's law, C. Boyle's law, D. Charles' law. The only relation we have here which gives the volume to the moles is Avogadro's law, and therefore the fourth option would be A. The fifth question. During the electrolysis of acidified water, which of the following takes place? A. Oxygen is released at the cathode. B. Oxygen is released at the anode. C. Hydrogen is released at the anode. D. Sulfur dioxide is released at the anode. If you look closely, in the electrolysis of acidified water, at the cathode, hydrogen ion is discharged and therefore hydrogen is formed. At the anode, the OH minus ion is discharged and therefore water and oxygen are formed. So the only correct option would be B. Oxygen is released at the anode, and therefore the fifth answer would be B. The sixth question. Duralumin is an alloy of A. Aluminum and copper, B. Copper and tin, C. Aluminum and silver, D. Aluminum and iron. All of us know that duralumin is 95% aluminum, 4% copper, 0.5% magnesium, 0.5% manganese, and therefore the correct option would be A. The seventh example. Hydrogen chloride can be obtained by adding concentrated sulfuric acid to A. Sodium chloride, B. Sodium sulfate, C. Sodium carbonate, D. Sodium nitrate. HCl can be obtained by adding concentrated sulfuric acid to any metal chloride, as in the lab prep of HCl. So the correct option would be A. The eighth one. Which of the following reactions gives copper as the product? A. Passing dry ammonia over heated copper oxide. This gives me the copper oxide with ammonia gives me copper plus water plus nitrogen. So I do get copper as a product. None of the other reactions gives me copper as a product, and therefore the correct answer would be A. The ninth one, formation of chlorine from methane and chlorine is an example of A. Addition, B. Dehydration, C. Substitution, D. Elimination. The reaction between substitution of hydrogen atom of a methane molecule by a chlorine atom, the correct answer here would be C, that is substitution. The D1, the element with the highest ionization potential in the periodic table is A. Helium, B. Neon, C. Argon, D. Xenon. The correct answer here would be helium, and therefore it's option A.